Players ask me all the time, what accessories do I need to work on if I'm starting out in the game? What is my path? Like, what is my plan for accessories? And then in the end game, players ask me all the time, what is more important? What do I need to focus on? We've covered a lot of that, but today we're going to talk about the plan. What you need to do if you're starting out in the game, what you need to do if you're in the end game, and give you the value of knowing exactly what to do with your accessories. Everybody, welcome in. I am your boy Chadsky. I put up videos all the time. And this is a video that I wanted to do kind of for a while. Now, I have done accessory value videos. I've done videos where I've explained like the importance of drums and how, horn drums, it compares to horn ring, and how, there are accessories in the game right now that are just not viable. They're not usable. There are some of these accessories here, and we'll go through some of this stuff that I recommend do not forge. And if you have them forged already from previous, because we've all made mistakes and we just didn't know at the time, then you need to dismantle them. Yep, that's what I'm going to tell you, late game guys. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about the early game, okay? Because in KVK 1 and KVK 2, you really can't use any legendary accessories. You really can't get them. You can get them by one event, and that is the egg event, okay? So there's some things you can do to start working on that, because people who are doing the egg event in KVK 1 and 2, okay, they get themselves in a situation where they have the option to do the egg, or they have the option to do a weapon, okay? And so let me kind of show you this thing here. This is the egg event that you see. You get the choice event. So every now and then in the egg event, you're gonna get this situation to where you can either pick an accessory to crack for, or you can pick a weapon. Well, most people in the early game are still working on their gear. So they're picking weapons to go craft, and they're picking weapons to go get the blueprints of. However, if you do decide to do accessories in the egg event, then I would suggest looking at the drums and Greatest Glory. Those are the only two you ever have to worry about. Okay, I'm gonna make this real simple and easy for you guys starting out in the game. Drums and Greatest Glory are the only legendary accessories you have to worry about until you get to SOC, until you get to Season of Conquest. Then it changes, okay? But I am going to give you the information, because if you get Greatest Glory or drums, if you get either one of these and you get blueprints for these and you craft them, you will use them in the end game. That is part of the setup you will have in the late game. So you can get that value now in K1 and K2, and then know that you're doing it completely peace of mind. Like you're not investing in anything you're not going to use. Okay, but first and foremost, when you get into the game and you're trying to build your account, accessories are a massive thing. And in KVK 1 and 2, this guy right here takes the cake. This is Silent Trial. Okay, this is what this thing does. It is exceptional at being able to mitigate rage against your opponent, because every time you hit your opponent, you're going to take 10 points of rage off of them every second. You can see it right over here in the attributes. Okay, this thing is really, really good. This thing can even be used when you start getting into Season of Conquest, because you're going to start getting Luce and Arthur. You're going to start running combo stuff, which makes this thing even better. But this is the best thing you can get in K1 and K2 for you early players. Okay, the second best thing you can get is Delane's Amulet. Okay, you take 5% less counterattack damage of all types. That's pretty good. That's a good stat stick there to be able to mitigate the counterattack damage you're taking. Okay, and so that's kind of the second tier of accessories you want. The third tier is the stratagems. Okay, now I would say don't ever do this. Don't ever use stratagems. However, in KVK 1 and 2, you don't have crystal tech. So your max march size is based on your VIP level. So either 200, 210,000 or 230,000. Plus a 50% expansion if you're going to use it to fight. So you're going to run that at most 330,000. Okay, well, adding 3% to that can be pretty good. I mean, you can add more troops. More troops is more damage. More damage means you got better kill points, and it's harder to kill your marches. Okay, so the stratagems does serve a purpose, but in the ranking order, You got Silent Trial, then you got the lanes, and you got stratagems. You can get these in different variants and different events. You can get some of these in the camps and keeps. That's always something to think about. You got to grind those. You got to play the game every day. You got to do your camps and keeps. You got to go through some of the stuff that you're going through to get the blueprints that you need. And that is how you basically set up your account when you're in K1 and K2. Then, as we talked about, when the egg event comes around, do not mess with Dagger. Do not mess with Pendant. Do not mess with Sex Call. Okay? Do not mess with anything with Book of Vengeance or anything else. Okay? Greatest Glory and drums is all you have to worry about. Okay, that's all you need prints for. That's what you need to go get prints for in the early game. So let me put up this little accessory guide here. And for you in-game guys, I'll explain it to you in a few, but let's do this. Here's my accessory guide. You can see on the left, okay, new players. You get 3 check marks on the Silent Trial. Love it. 2 check marks on Delane's Amulet. Love it. 1 check mark on the stratagems. Love it. And then you got your 3 check marks and 2 check marks for the drums and Greatest Glory, respectfully. Okay. And in the early game, the other ones that you can get, Seth's Call, Coin, and Dagger, never get those. Stay away from them. Don't get them. You're not going to lose them in the late game. So that is what you need to do. I'm putting you on that path. Okay. Because accessories are the best way to get value into your marches. And when you upgrade accessories, you're going to see the results in your trades, on the field, in rallies and garrisons. Accessories really make your marches go. And that's very, very important, okay? So I'm not trying to set you up for failure here, because you get to the end game, you're not going to need a lot of this stuff. I'm just telling you. So don't get caught in that trap, okay? And so as we kind of go through this a little bit more for you guys now in the end game, okay, I'm going to have a card in the top. You can see my video when it comes to the devaluation of Seth's Call, of Pendant, of Dagger, of Moore's Web, and of Vengeance, and of the coin, okay? Very rarely will you ever use any of these or ever need any of these. Now, you can have a player that does like a leadership garrison, okay? Those are super rare, okay? Cortex is one of the best in the game. He's got tier 5 everything for leadership. He runs a Hera with YSS in flags, and he's got a tier 5 critted coin, okay? That's the only time anybody would ever see value out of a coin. And the simple fact is we've had power creeps with commanders now that have completely changed the game. And they have not power crept these accessories. None of them. They haven't power crept any of them. Okay, I'm going to keep Plume out of it. But when it comes to coin, a damage factor of a shield of 500. That's awesome. 5 years ago. Okay, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, when you were going up against rallies from, let's see, Saladin and Khan. Okay, when the max damage was 1,700, I mean, that used to be huge. 1,700 damage factor used to be massive, and a coin was really good on that. Now, good luck. It's almost double the amount of damage with 3,000 that Subutai does. With that being said, you got to get yourself in a situation to say, hey, where's the value in the accessories? And so when we look at that overall, okay, I've highlighted those for you and let you guys know exactly how that stuff works out. Pendant, 5% skill damage. Meh. That was great 4 years ago. Seth's Call. You got a 10% chance to grade 10% attack bonus. 10% attack bonus? Like I'm gonna go bench a horn or a drums or a ring for this? You know, because 10% attack doesn't have near the punching power it used to have 3 and 4 years ago. Same thing with Dagger. Guys, I used to love the Dagger. I've dismantled tier 5 daggers, okay? Because they're just not worth it anymore. 30% chance to reduce the target's health by 5%. If that's critted, that's 6.5%. You can reduce the target's health on a 3 stack up to 20%, okay? That doesn't mean anything like it used to 3 and 4 years ago. Now we got health coming out of our ears when it comes to armaments and commanders and support skills and all the different things we can do. Not worth it. Okay, you come down here, Moore's Web, same thing. It's got the same effect as the Dagger, just not as potent on the defense. Meh, not a big deal. Now we got commanders that literally debuff a ton of defense after they use an active skill. Not a big deal. Okay, coin I talked about, damage factor, too small. Now, if they upgraded these to where this damage factor was 1,000? Because the damage has literally doubled. Why don't they just do that? Okay, if they upgraded these to where counterattack of all types was 12 or 15%, or the web where the damage or the defense reduction is 7% that can stack, or 8%, and then the march speed of not cavalry but all units or something, or here you're going to put this at like 8% and you can crit it from there. Okay, you're going to put this at 20% attack bonus. Okay, now we're talking. You're going to put this at 10 or 12% more skill damage. Okay, that would bring value today. But right now it's not. Okay, so this is, for you young players and you early game players, you're seeing, I'm giving you the reasons why you don't jack with any of that stuff, because you're not going to use it in the late game. And for you late game players, I'm telling you, dismantle all this garbage. I know it sucks, and I know it's super painful. And I would say do not dismantle it unless you're going to replace it with something usable. Okay, that's my point in all this, is that you need to dismantle this stuff. It doesn't work anymore. Trust me. You will not get the trades from a free, even if you have a pendant critted. Okay, you go put a horn, you're going to do so much better. You go put a ring, you're going to do so much better. Let's say you've got a dagger critted for cavalry, all right, which is everybody like to do because it hits first. It's going to run up those stacks first, and a critted dagger is great. However, you're literally going to tell me a critted dagger is better than ring for Huo, or horn, or drums for Arthur? No, that ain't happening. It's just not happening. And so from that standpoint, this is where we get into on the late game. Okay, I'm going to put this accessory guide back up so we can get a good idea. You in-game players, horn, best. You need a horn on every one of your marches. I don't even care if it's Luce or Arthur, and they're going to overrage when they do their combo stuff or their extra basic attack from Luce. It doesn't matter. Okay, you get the horn, you ramp up the rage. Every single march you have in the in-game should have a horn. Every single one. Straight up, every single one. Okay, and then from there, the ring and the drums, you can mix and match and interchange, okay? For Arthur, combo damage. For Luce, okay, you want to use drums because that's going to fire off more often. Drums is so good because drums not only gives you rage, it also gives rage. Let's look at this. 50 extra rage, and it's 65 if it's critted. 50 extra rage to the wearer's troop and up to two nearby enemy or allied troops. So that's your march and two of your other marches. Okay, well, you go put 2 and 3 of these on in your 4, 5, 6, 7 march murder ball, your little march setup. It's going to give you massive returns. It's going to be incredible. So that's what I always say when it comes to some of this stuff, is that you got to value that. Okay, I run 7 marches. I run 7 horns. All right, I run 2 rings. I run three drums, and I run 2 greatest glories. Okay, I literally only run 2 rings on my 7 marches. I run 3 greatest three war drums, and then 2 greatest glories. That's what I run. My greatest glories I run on Luce in my smite stuff, and I run it on Arthur because Arthur does combo, which is enhanced by normal damage. That's what greatest glory does. Okay, these should be the only 4 accessories in your equipment. They're the only 4 that you should have. Everything else, dismantle. Everything else. Okay, and you young players, you see where I've got the dagger, the coin, and the cess call X'd out here? That means don't go down that road. Okay, never go down that road, and then you won't have the problem of having to dismantle that late in the game. And the reason why, just so everybody understands, the reason why these particular, the drums, the ring, the horn, and even greatest glory, the reason why they have stayed relevant is because they are not enhancing attributes except for greatest glory. I'll get to that in a sec. These are all enhancing mechanics of the game. They're enhancing rage. Okay, rage has never changed. We need all the rage we can get. Okay, so with that being said, that's why horn is so important. Ring still does the all damage. Okay, it does the all damage enhancement, which is really, really good. It is essential for rallies and garrisons. You have to have it. And in the field, it's still really, really good. Even though it's a 2-second situation, it's a little bit deficient because you're going back and forth and fighting. Okay, so you got drums, rage enhancer, horn, rage enhancer, ring, all damage enhancer, Greatest Glory, this would be dead on arrival, but they changed it. Normal damage now enhances smite and combo. Okay, so all your smite commanders that you got and all your combo commanders, he as a primary, Arthur's a combo commander. Luce, smite commander. Okay, William Wallace, smite commander. Okay, so all of these, you click here, first thing you'll see is affected by bonuses to normal damage. So Greatest Glory literally got yourself into a situation to where Greatest Glory was able to be saved. And that's why we have it here. That's why we have it here that you should have at least one of those. If you run Luce, you can easily get Greatest Glory. And the reason why drums and Greatest Glory are so valued is because you can easily get them off of the egg. We talked about that. When you talk about the egg, you can go get those things. Just load up the prints, y'all. Crack the egg, get the fragments, and load up your blueprint fragments to get blueprints of the drums and the Greatest Glory. It's that simple. It's that simple. This isn't all that hard. It's really, really simple. And so to recap, when you're looking at this overall, doesn't matter if you're a new player or an older player, here is your guide. New players, Silent Trial's great. These are epic accessories. Delane's Amulet, great. Epic accessories. Stratagem, still pretty good. It's an epic accessory. You can get prints for these. These are easier to make. Okay. And when you dismantle them and upgrade to legendary, you get all the materials back. When you dismantle these guys, you only get half the materials back. So don't do that, okay? So get these three at the top, Silent Trial, Delane's Amulet, and Stratagems. Try to get 3 Silent Trials. Try to get 3 Delanes. Try to get 3 Stratagems. Go fight KVK 1 and 2. Then load up your blueprints for drums and Greatest Glory. If you have the materials to forge those and use those, then use them. That would be great because you're going to use them in the late game. Then when you get into late game, you slowly start dismantling your Silent Trials and your Delanes and your Stratagems, and you start replacing them with horns, rings, drums, and Greatest Glory. That's what you do. It's really, really pretty simple and easy, but everybody has to understand because, I mean, honestly, I'm just tired of all the questions. Like, here's what you do, guys. Simple. Stop asking me. This is exactly what you do. And it's like, well, hey, well, is dagger worth it? Or I have a dagger critted. I'm still going to use that. That's fine. You can use whatever you want. If it's critted, you can use whatever you want in the game. I have no problem with that. Just to let you know, me, and I know I'm a big spender, but players I know who aren't big spenders, they've dismantled their daggers. They've dismantled their pendants. Okay? They've dismantled their coins. They dismantled their vengeance. I've dismantled all that stuff, guys. And it's because just performance base, horns, gotta have it, okay? Drums, great to have a few of them if you're running more than 4 or 5 marches, okay? You're running 3 marches, 1 drum will be great. You're running 4 or 5 marches, 2 drums will be great, okay? Greatest Glory, it's great for Luce, it's great for William Wallace, it's great for Arthur. Any combo or smite damage commander, you get value out of this. Okay, and then when it comes to ring is just always pretty good. Okay, it's an overarching all damage bonus that you get, and that's how you do it. So that is the plan. Take a photo of it, take a picture, and enjoy. Any other questions, throw it down in the comments. I'm always reviewing my comments, making sure to engage with you guys. If you enjoy the videos, throw a thumbs up on here and like them. Consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything. Join our community. My Discord link is in the description. Okay, and so you can join my community. That's where a lot of these conversations come into play. It is truly a community of nerds. It's a fun-loving, easy, nice, PG version of a Discord that we enjoy ourselves in there. We have funny humor in there, but it's where we all go who want to get better at this game. That's where we go hang out. We go hang out on that Discord. We come up with these conversations, and then I turn around and make videos about them. And so with that being said, you guys have a great day, broskies.